Hello, everyone. This is a test of the microphones for Trey Landry, so we can see if we're loud enough or not. Hopefully, are so we can entertain you and not annoy you like Matt Kingston does in Canada. 10-4.
This is Trey Landry testing his microphone just to make sure I can entertain you, unlike Matt Kingston in Canada, 10-4. This is Trey Landry trying it again because obviously I got Canadian syndrome and can't be heard. So hopefully it works a little bit better this time. This is another test of Trey Landry's microphone. Hopefully Thomas is paying attention this time. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. We are live on OCR TV for 3 Wide Nathan Young Designs B Car Series from Talladega. I'm Trey Landry. Joining me tonight is Thomas Morris and our favorite Canadian, Matt Kingston. Boys, how we doing tonight?
You say our favorite Canadian. Do you mean maybe your favorite Canadian? Because I've got another one in my heart, but I'm doing fine, by the way.
We're done.
Well, he's definitely my favorite Canadian.
But yes, it should be a good race. I think there's going to be quite a good chance for some calamity to happen, but hopefully we keep her clean and green and watch out for those bumper locks because it sends people for some rides to the infield.
Yeah, I've
Yeah, I think that's the story we picked up from practice there, Trey. Going to be a little bit of taking a little bit of care taken when pushing because the left rear bumper hook seems to be an issue creeping up here again in the B series.
yeah, I've noticed that watching these guys practice. It's getting kind of crazy as we're in qualifying now.
And on the topic of qualifying, right now we have 6 non-chartered drivers attempting to make the field for tonight's race. Only 3 of them can. So the quickest 3 on their qualifying speed will be in the field for the event, and the other 3 will have to watch us. And
I mean, that's not a bad thing.
no, it's not bad. It's just kind of upsetting for them, I'd imagine, having to listen to us. But unless you like us, then come on and join in.
Yeah, that's the first time all season I think we've seen the charter come into play to where a non-charter driver is not going to be able to race. So probably not. I think a lot of tracks you can kind of maybe get yourself in the field and feel pretty comfortable, but here at Talladega, you're just at the mercy of holding that wheel straight and trying to get a good lap in.
Oh, for sure. And with a field of 32 drivers, it's going to be a interesting race. It's going to be cut down to what 29, but still that's a lot of drivers. And this track may look wide, but it's not that wide.
Doing math already, huh?
It didn't go too bad yet, so we'll see as the night progresses.
Currently, we got Luis Salmaso sitting on the provisional pole with a 52.840. Todd Smith right there with the 855.
Travis Bennett clocking in P3 at the moment. Eric Mickey, David Wilson round out your top 5 so far. Some bit of mixture of new names and old names here in 3 wide.
Points leader Eric Mickey. I believe he used to be the points leader. I don't know if he still is. He's currently 6th.
Well, you say that jokingly, Trey, because it's been quite a while since the Nathan Young Designs B Series has been active here in 3 wide. Last race kicked off June 25th at Thompson Speedway, so we've had a little bit of a break, kind of similar to what F1's headed into now with a little summer break.
Oh, we got Kevin Finn and Chatty having some technical issues there. It's motherboard kind of quit on him. Can't race tonight. Hate it for you, Matt. Or excuse me, Kevin.
I know,
That's a shame.
Trey. You used to hearing me with the technical issues.
Yeah, obviously.
Well, luckily, Mr. Finn has a win earlier this season, so that should secure him a spot in the playoffs. Although I'm sure, like everyone else, Trey and Matt, you kind of want to get to Dega and have some fun. There's really no pressure here. You just kind of ride and see what you can get. And get taken out by a technical problem is always not a good night.
Well, what you usually get here, Tom, at least in our experience, was a DNF, so you might be avoiding some gray hairs popping up on him.
I mean, actually, Dega had pretty good luck. Now, Daytona, yeah, I could guarantee you a DNF. Looks like that's about it for the field. A lot of the guys in the bottom half of the field didn't have to qualify because they are chartered. So,
I believe the first person to not make the field this evening would be Jamie Dyson in that 27 machine. And now slated 14th, and he is the 4th quickest non-chartered driver in the field, along with James Duke and there's another name here. Just give me a minute.
oh no,
Brandon Newhouse.
not you, House.
I know you were looking forward to saying that name all night tonight, weren't you, Thomas?
Yeah, it always ends up that way. Well, I guess he can watch from the chat. Not the night he was looking for there. I believe he's driving, according to TeamSpeak, he was in the same channel as Eric Mickey, so maybe a bombshell motorsports car there, not making the field tonight. Which is a little shocking considering the others leading the points.
We're going to be starting with a field of 29 drivers, I believe. So it's going to be interesting to watch.
I think that's the low key way of putting that, man.
Yeah, we could have some decent sized wrecks here, especially with that bumper hook where it's totally unintentional and it's just if you get onto the person at the wrong time or the wrong place pretty well, you're going to send them for a ride and probably take out quite a few people on that's behind them.
It's kind of funny because it's not really uncommon to what happens in real life when you see these cars doing that. It's just a little bit more of a net code kind of thing on iRacing, but it's similar to what happens in real life when you hit them on that left rear. It just sends them around, and most of the time you're going to collect quite a few cars.
You
Oh,
know,
without a doubt.
it's kind of a shame these non-charter guys not going to make the field. James, what's it? James Duke, Brandon Newhouse. Both those guys qualified less than a tenth from the pole, and they're not going to be able to race tonight.
Well, they face some stout competition there. We know Mr. Todd Smith from other series and leagues we've covered in the past. He's what we'd consider a plate head there, Matt, and he always can drag a couple tenths out of that car, and it definitely paid off tonight. Even
That's for
Travis the
sure.
Paperboy Bennett.
Uh, no, Todd can definitely hang with the best of them here at Talladega. I know I've seen him a few other times that he's raced here that he did pretty well, and he's got the speed. So we'll see what he can do tonight. See if he can steal a win from these guys.
Now, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Trey. I was going to. Well, Matt, it kind of ranked in my head here, the Dyson. I wonder if that's in relation to, was it Ryan Dyson in the Dirt Series?
Yeah, and Ryan is running tonight, and I'm assuming it is. Just give me 1 second here. I'll do a little bit of date. They're both from Canada, so that's a pretty good chance.
I mean, brothers, cousins.
They're either related or they know each other because everybody knows everybody up here
Well,
in
I
Canada.
mean, it's kind of funny because he sent him home, right? The other Dyson got in, and this Dyson didn't make it.
Yeah, and Jamie doesn't seem to like the whole thing. If he qualified 14th and didn't make the field, which it is that Mustang, you qualified well, you just ran into some trouble, I guess.
Well, that's the benefit of paying for a charter. You get a guaranteed spot in the field. So
Very true.
maybe do that one next week if you want to come back outside of Talladega, where the field's separated by what? The pole's a 52.8 and the 53.9 was a joker lap from Nathan Young, but 53.2 was the Matt Hackathorn and P26. So yeah, pretty. I mean,
Yeah,
it's pretty tight considering some of those guys didn't have to turn the fastest of laps to get in.
And that's it looks like Matt Hackathorn and Nathan Young just each turned one lap. Just a
Kind of like a joker banker, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because right in front of him, a 52.9 didn't make the show, and a 52.8 was the pole. So
yeah, that's got to sting. That would make me upset too. But while we're on this topic, guys, we may as well jump over into the points because there is a decent little battle shaping up for the cutoff because we're only 5 races until we hit the playoffs.
the playoffs.
Looking at it, it looks kind of the same as the Cup Series with Peter Short atop of the atop the standings with
Never heard
3 wins that he's got. No, and it doesn't matter where you have him; he's fast either which way. So, and looking here, Corey Lindsay's just out right now by 21 points, and Talladega, guys, it's a wild card race. Anybody can win this. You could start from last and finish the race in first. It doesn't matter. You just gotta kind of have the right line when you're coming up through the field, and or a little bit of luck coming too. I think
There's names that aren't even on this points list that could make it into the playoffs. These are just, we kind of you have to stop somewhere. I mean, we could have done the top 20, but that's pretty far out in points. But anyone who's made 70% of the season, they get a win. They're in as long as they're chartered, obviously. But that can shake up the whole gamut because if you move this down one more spot, look at how much tighter this gets between these guys trying to battle in.
Well, we saw it last week in the Cup Series where you had he's a chartered driver, but he's not going to run 70% of the races. Chuck Sweeting actually won the race. He took a spot from I don't want to say took a spot, but he kept somebody who was trying to win their way in from doing it because he did it. The same thing
Yeah.
could happen here tonight.
I believe was it Nathan Velez finished P2. Imagine if he would have won. That would have. I mean, he was deep in the points in the Cup Series. He could have turned his whole season around with that win, but unfortunately, he couldn't get it done.
No, and I'll attest it's pretty hard to beat Chuck when he's on his game. He can wheel these cars around like he makes it look easy anyway. It's not.
We call that experience, Matt. Experience, as they say. That's what they tell me, at least.
Notice the track temp tonight's 101. It's a pretty warm track. You think these guys are going to be slipping and sliding all over the place?
I don't want to say handling will be a factor, but we've seen it become a factor at Talladega before. Not so much. I'm not sure about the B car though, with the way it handles and a little bit slower draft package than the Cup cars. But if we get a long green run, 75% fuel in these cars, so I would say it might get a little tight, maybe on entry or maybe a little plowing on exit. But it, I don't want to say it's going to become a huge factor, Trey, but I think it's something you can't overlook, especially on a long run.
Yeah, because believe it or not, after a while here at Talladega, the tires do get chewed up, so you might actually run into that handling issue. It might be a little bit slick and greasy coming to what 20 or 25 laps into the run.
Now, I didn't personally take a lap in the fix, so I don't really know how bad it is. As we're approaching 2 minutes left to the green flag, ladies and gentlemen, 2 minutes. And as we have 2 minutes till the break here, Matt, why don't we step aside for a second so we can catch our breath and get ready for what could be a green flag wild Talladega race. Hopefully not with a big one. We can just call it green to the end.
I think you're hoping for a lot.
Well, I mean, I hope for a lot in life, but we'll see you back here in just a few minutes.
All right, boys, we're back. We're starting to grid here in just a minute.
Slowly but surely as the field assembles.
Get those chariots out there on the line, boys.
War wagons. We said I had to go in and check. You almost gave me a heart attack with that track temp. I don't think you would have noticed in the car, really. Says the guy who's not having a run on the track.
I know, right? I know, right? right, boys. What you say? Let's run them through the grid.
Yeah, we better run tonight because if we walk, we may not get it all done.
All right, starting P1 with the. Excuse me, sorry, lost my train of thought there. Number 14, Jordan Teal. He's got the R by his name because he's a rookie. Starting outside pole, Travis Bennett, highest non-charter driver tonight.
I believe you might want to switch that over, Trey, because I've got Luis Salmosa
Oh,
on the pole.
yep. You guys go ahead. Something's not updating here.
Rolling off P2 will be Corey Bunch and that Burnout Racing team. God, that is a terrible name for a team. Machine into, I'll go ahead and do row 2 here, Matt, too. Rolling off row 2 here, we got Todd Smith. Going to roll a P3, I believe, for a Pilot Performance Group. And to his outside teammate, also, I believe, Travis Bennett, for a Pilot Performance Group. Going to roll a P4.
Starting in the 5th position with the 8 of Richard Lafferty, and outside of him in the 6th spot with the 83 of Johnny Thomas.
Rolling off P7, we have Eric Mickey, your point leader, as Trey mentioned, and to his outside, Carlos Acosta, and that number 2 car for RK Motorsports.
Starting 9th, we have the 39, David Wilson. 10th, 3, Tanner Sharp.
Rolling off P11, we have the number 28 of Ryan Dyson, the dirt standout star there, Matt, and to his outside, the other RK Motorsports machine of Jess Story.
We got another Burnout Racing machine there in the 94, Michael Whitley, starting 13th, and outside him, stand by. Sorry, Sam Close.
That was so close. That's actually going to be, I didn't even notice that. You're talking about the people who didn't make the show. It's going to be hard to read through it. And,
Yeah.
rolling off next position will be Jeffrey Curry, and to his outside, Nathan Velez, going to roll in that 48 machine.
Something has happened to my grid as well. That is super.
Well, let me roll you down through, and then we have Levi Zelensky going to roll off P18. James Duke didn't make the show, so he would be 19th, but not here. Paul Ross, 20th. Corey Lindsay, 21st. Kyle Henshaw, 22nd. Mike Stevens. Rusty Webb. Mr. U-House also did make the show. Matt Hackathorn, Nathan Young, Peter Short, Richard Hines, Chad Brown, Jordan Till, and Zach Trevino.
That was a good job there, Thomas.
And if you thought that was crazy, the race hasn't even started yet.
Close your eyes because it's going to be a bad one. As the pace car is going to dive off to pit road.
Got a long way to go, though. Green
Love
flag
with it.
way down here on the trioval here at Talladega.
Green, green, green.
We are green here at Talladega, boys.
Nice clean start, too. Nobody jumping out looking to be a hero on the first lap yet. So
Corey Bunch with a decent start there, the outside all by himself, trying to pull alongside the 4-car there, but not going to have the momentum.
no, but the bottom line is rolling pretty nicely there. It's kind of deforming a little bit as I say that. One guy's dropping off the apron, probably going to just try to hide in the back for a little bit. I believe that is
Lafferty there.
Lafferty.
It's an odd decision. He was going to be slotted in P2 there. That's pretty... I'd rather be up front than in the back in one of these fields.
He might not like who he saw around him, or he could have just said, you know what, not yet. I'm just going to take it easy until we get our first caution. Because that's not a guarantee, but you think it's coming.
True, but yeah, we'll see how it plays out. I know it's with a fixed setup, let alone even with an open set, man. We know how hard it is to actually make track position up here at Talladega.
Yeah, you have to be able to slice through pretty well and kind of see the air, as Dale used to say.
Gone are the good old days of slingshotting from 30th to the lead with 10 to go, trying to be a hero. You kind of want to make that move pretty early on, at least 10 to go or something like that. You know, you want to be in the top 10 at least to make that move instead of trying to work your way through. Now, like you said, maybe it's best to play it smart here at the beginning because you can bank on maybe a caution or two.
Yeah, that might be
Maybe.
Lafferty's plan there, is just try to wait till some people get weeded out. Because as we saw, the bumper hook is super prevalent, so somebody could be leading and end up on their on the hook.
So Eric's going to go up to the high line there, going to leave a 4-car down by himself, and have David Wilson pick him up there. It's a little push maybe from Todd Guy Smith there.
A nice little thing forming here between Sam Close, Michael Whitley, and Ryan Dyson. They seem to be starting a little train as Whitley jumps out, so that's not true at all.
Well, they tried. Looks like Johnny Thomas also pulling down to get to the back of the field here. A little strategy going on here, boys.
Strategies at play already. Corey Lindsay, though, he's not wasting any time. He's moved up right now. I believe he's inside the top 10.
Yeah, looks like he appears to be making his way up there at least.
Eric got a nice push there from Luis Salmaso. See if Eric can get this lap led between him and Todd Smith up there for the lead.
I believe he's going to lead that lap as Todd get the nod on the outside there. Got a lot of new names up front there, Matt, with Todd, Corey, Travis Bennett, Michael Whitley. Familiar to maybe OCR or our previous iteration of other things that will remain nameless. But we've seen them, pretty big plate guys. Well, pretty big league racers in general, but pretty smart on the plate races. So we'll see if they can maybe try and work together here and keep up front.
That's what it looks like to me, Thomas. Michael Whitley joins the top line that's filled with, I guess you can call them rookies of this series. We have Travis Bennett, Corey Bunch, and Todd Smith leading that up,
Rookie
with Michael
Express.
Whitley jumping in the back. Yeah, like riding that all the way to the front here. And as you guys noticed, there's not been much pinching yet, which is probably good, but you're going to start seeing that as these laps wind down. Right now we're on lap 5 of 80, so
Yeah,
you better you're going to bet that it's going to get wild here probably. I would say lap 50 we're going to start seeing some pinching, not as much give and take, because you need that momentum to get built up enough so that you can get up to the front, because you can't just do a push like you said, Thomas, in the last 10 laps anymore. It doesn't work.
Also have to worry about overheating in these cars as well. I believe it's a set tape on the car, so you can't change it, but you have to be very conscious of how long you push that guy in front of you.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. If you have any kind of nose damage, that could be terminal for your race.
Yeah, it won't help you any, as Eric's still trying to see if he can get that lap led over Todd here. Looks like he's got a better run this time. As looks like we've seen the old Talladega strategy come into play here, Matt and Trey. Looks like we've got the front gaggle up here who decided they want to have some fun, while the rest of the guys back here are just kind of ride around, maybe check the newspaper, see what's going on in their stocks, just kind of chill. And then even further back, looks like we have a couple Eisentech Enterprises cars there, just kind of chilling even further back, the old Dale Jarrett tear the bonnie strategy.
I was just about to mention that, Thomas, because if you look, nobody's touching each other, not pushing or anything. They're just kind of sitting there riding in line. As I say that, Jordan Teal starts to move closer on the 33, so clearly that's why I'm here.
If you're gonna do it, I mean, it's best to have the teammates. So that's someone you can trust, hopefully, and can push you back to the front if need be. That being said, they're already pretty far back. They would need a caution to catch back up. In
For
my
sure.
opinion.
And as you look now, the front pack is hotting up. They're starting to go 3 wide now, I believe. Who is that? Todd Smith splitting loose some, also stuck in the middle.
Yeah, I got the big run on the outside there from Corey and Todd. Little push from Travis as well.
That's the great thing about this track too, is it's so wide. This is no problem.
No, it's an easy 3 wide track. A little sketchy 4 wide with the laws of net code, but other than that, it's pretty easy to go 3 wide.
Whitley looks like he's backing out of it and trying to maybe hope that one of his buddies will come back and give him a hand after. I think that 3 wide move kind of scared him a little bit.
Maybe he thought better of that, Matt. It's a little early to be playing with the 3 wide rules here.
And Eric Mickey just got himself into a bad situation. He's in the sucker hole again now, falling back. Todd Smith took him up on the high side. So
they put you in that middle, and you're just see ya.
If you have a good push or starting to push somebody, the middle can be utilized all right, because I find it takes enough air off the bottom lane that you can get a good run, but you need that momentum. Like you said, you cannot just go into it and hope for the best.
A little pilot performance group charge here with David Wilson on the bottom. If you haven't checked him out, he's got his own Twitch channel where he's probably streaming this race with his VR headset on, and that's that's got to be a trip here at Talladega watching that from a VR headset. So definitely be sure to check him out.
After the race, though, Thomas.
I mean, you can hop back and forth. We're not Hitler here. I'd kind of want to keep it open if he gets in the big one. That way you can see a big one in VR, because that's got to be. Whew, Corey Bunch makes the hard dive to the bottom to get around Todd Smith there.
That would remind me of the Kurt Busch helmet cam there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was gnarly.
I was looking there. I thought the 18 was about to get on that sour spot on the 4, but they seemed to be all right.
Yeah, everyone's still playing pretty nice. I mean, there's a lot of room, not a whole lot of bump drafting, just enough to get you moving, but nothing crazy yet.
No, I believe Luis also just got Todd Smith. No, Corey Bunch gets the hard charge off the corner there, so they're going to be side by side again down the backstretch. But if you look, Thomas, I think the top line is a little bit more horsepower behind them than Corey Bunch and David Wilson do in the bottom.
Looks like a little more. Well, we know the 18 and the 4 are probably pretty comfortable with each other. They've been in the league together for a while, so they know they can work with each other, and they're just going to have to hope and pray Todd can hold a pretty wheel in front of him. But that being said, they're also not pinching either, like you said, Matt. So it's hard to make that high line and gain that momentum lap after lap if you're not going to side draft those guys.
Oh, for sure. And just to show you how big momentum was, the 6 of Eric Mickey is being scored in the 18th position. They went from the lead to 18th in about 4 laps.
And he's the last car in that pack.
I'm starting to climb back up 2x2 here, too.
Well, he is the point leader, too, so they're probably like, get back there.
Yeah.
We don't want you up here in our points.
But for any of these guys that are on the outside looking in on the points, they want somebody to be a repeat winner or somebody like either them or...
They want to win. That's what they want.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, David Wilson looking for the win. Paul Ross already has 1 win, I believe, but Sam Close looking for a B-Series win. Well, pretty much anyone of the Chargers drivers is looking for a win. Even the non-Chargers, too.
That's a hard thing to do too, Thomas, is put all your ducks in a row here for Talladega. If you don't think you can get the wins in the next 4 races after this, it puts a little bit extra pressure on. It might make you make some dangerous moves.
Yeah, winning, I mean, you don't want to say it doesn't take skill to win here, because it involves some skill of trying to read the draft and know where to place your car, and wreck avoidance can sometimes be helped by your reflexes. A lot of times it's really not up to you. But here, it doesn't matter. You can have, even with an open set, you can have the fastest car here. You cannot do it by yourself. You have to have help. As we go to next week or previous weeks, you could make something happen with your car, and here you're just kind of stuck with whatever helps you, or whoever helps you.
Very true, Thomas. And looking now, to jump off topic just for a second, the 7 of Jester looks like he's having connection issues. He's completely blinked out, and his quality is dropping. Yeah,
I thought he had those settled. He had earlier this season had some lingering network issues, but tough break for Jess. I know he's got a Cup Series win this season, but he's looking to maybe score that B Series win as well. Still got time. Yeah, maybe only going to be 1 lap down so far.
Right now, 1, yeah. So hopefully he can get back in quick enough and he can get those laps back. Because if he's the only car a lap down, then he won't have any issues.
Got a big push from Todd there to David Wilson, trying to make this high line work. Trying to get around Corey Bunch, and I believe is that Ryan Dyson on the bottom? Yes, it is. Looking to suck up to the back bumper, Corey Bunch. Yes, I got one in.
God. Hopefully the top line fell apart a little bit there. Todd and David didn't seem to be lined up exactly perfectly, so see if we can
get a little space to Paul there too, man.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. It's better when they're all, I wouldn't say you don't want to be pushing 3 deep, that can get dangerous too, but it's better when you have everybody close, because it seems like the draft works better when you have groupings of cars all together.
We got James Duke in chat saying, don't forget about fuel mileage. No, James, I could never forget about fuel mileage at Talladega, considering the last 2 Dega races I've ran ended with fuel mileage. So, yeah, It's always ingrained in my mind now at Talladega.
And Pocono, I think, after we saw
Well, yeah,
Eisman and
yeah.
Short coming down to the wire there in the Cold Hard Air Cup Series.
I can guarantee you that you can run 39 and a half laps in a Cup car at Talladega. No more, no less. You can run 39 and a half laps at Talladega. So I'm assuming the B cars may be a little bit less than that because they're slower. And then you take the 75% fuel. We're looking, gotta do math on the fly here. 30-ish?
I'm thinking we're a little bit more closer to the 40 number there, but we'll see.
I mean, you gotta knock 25% off 40 there.
I'm not doing that.
I mean, a lot of it depends too because we're seeing Corey Bunch and David Wilson lead the pack, so they're going to get the worst fuel mileage of the entire field. Anyone sucked up right behind them is going to get pretty good mileage from what we've seen with the draft model here on iRacing. So they're going to have to pit first if it stays green, but I would think because it's so early, everyone's going to probably pit around the same time.
Yeah,
hopefully not at one time though.
Yeah, I was gonna say the worst thing that could happen is both lines try to squeeze in the pit road on the same lap.
We've actually, we saw that last year when we had to do a Dega race because everyone ran under fuel, so everyone pitted on the same lap. And let me tell you, when you pit with 30 cars, well, let's say when you pit with 15 cars in one pack, it gets a little hairy trying to judge braking points.
And sometimes they can still wad them up with only two people coming into pit road. So,
speaking of hairy, that got a little hairy at a turn 2 that lap.
Wow, there's some aggressive moves happening up there. I think she's a little early, boys.
Sam Close trying to get himself to the front.
Ryan Dyson slung himself up there in the middle, and they killed the momentum for David Wilson.
Oh, there they go.
All right, man. Caution is out.
Big one
Caution
there.
is
It's
out.
like Sam Close, Mike Stevens, Zach Trevino, Todd Smith, maybe. I want to say that was triggered around Sam Close, Todd Smith.
It got Ryan Dyson actually hooked him with the bumper thing. And it got howdy
yeah.
that 48
Nathan
machine.
Velez. Paul Ross as well. Yeah, that's
David
hard.
Wilson.
Well, there's your VR wreck. That's a shame, though.
Oh, Travis Bennett almost got through. He just got clipped in the rear. He might not be too bad, but he slammed her against the wall after he made contact with, I believe it was Sam Close, who was spinning like a top.
Oh, yeah, that hit, just looking at that from the 28, that is the worst kind of bumper hit you can give. One of those where you're coming down and come back up to hit them. You're already giving them that left shot. So, yeah, nothing Sam Close could do at that point.
Looks like Levi Zelensky and Jeffrey Acree did a good job getting through that wreck, along with Mike Stevens, Tanner Sharp. Heads up driving there, which is hard when you have a pack that full of drivers.
Well, I mean, also you're going 180, 190 in these cars. You can't just slam on the brakes and stop. So
no, these brakes do not work.
I would say even with good brakes, which would be hard to have at Talladega because of you don't ever use them, so they would be ice cold. You still couldn't stop. You could have Formula One brakes and it still wouldn't help you.
I just missed that there. Todd Smith got involved. I noticed that.
He was the one right behind Ryan Dyson.
He's gonna also be done for the day, I believe.
Yeah, he's laying some smoke down for the mosquitoes there.
See here if Corey Bunch can come back out in the lead, if Ryan Dyson's gonna steal it away from him. Dyson's done his service and he's back up. Peter Short is being scored as the leader. Did he not pit? 33 and 14 both stayed out. Both Eisentech cars. Interesting strategy. 19 laps in.
I know what they're doing. They're going to pit next time by on a clear pit lane. Guarantee you.
Yes.
Because we've seen in real life and even in leagues, you can get a little argy-bargy on pit lane.
James Duke and Chad, he said he gave him the James Duke versus Trey Landry. Whoever missed that can go back onto another live stream and watch that one.
Oh boy! Well, that was pretty much a reenactment of what James did to Trey at Daytona earlier this year. So we got a little couple of two-tire heroes here with Corey Lindsey and Paul Ross. I don't think it's a bad call at Talladega. I mean, you didn't have to fill it all the way up, so come get you two and get out front.
Yeah, if you're mired back in traffic, you may as well go ahead with it. But as we watch that, we're going to step away here for just a second. And we'll be right back for some more Talladega after this. Welcome back, folks, and to see some more interesting racing here at Talladega. It's been pretty calm, cool, and collected so far, but I'm thinking once we get to, I said 40 before, I'm thinking lap 30, or 50, sorry, last time. I'm thinking lap 30, we're going to see some little bit of moving around. What do you guys think?
I honestly didn't even remember you said that, but to cap off the story, as you saw as we went to break there, um, Peter Short and Jordan Till did peel off to pit lane as I expected. So they're still playing the Dale Jarrett strategy there, which honestly kept them out of that wreck. So can't really fault them.
Here's the problem I have with that, Thomas, though, is as soon as I make that move from starting in the back, I want to go move up to the front now. I'm in it. Every time without fail.
You've got to get up there at some point, right? You're just hoping when you get up there it's settled. And the problem I have with riding in the back is you never really put your car in those situations in the race, so you don't particularly know. I mean, I guess you have a feeling for what it's going to do, but you don't really know for sure how hard you can push it or slide it out or make that quick correction. So you're kind of trusting on your previous knowledge here. All right, pace cars
Sure is
down.
the
I'm going to
yeah.
come back to green here with Corey Lindsey and Paul Ross on your front row. We're going to bring them all the way down to the green flag here.
Green flag, green flag.
Good jump there for the two 3OG teammates. Paul Ross looking to hopefully slide in behind them.
Yeah. I'm still gonna watch this 33. I want to see if he starts moving a little bit more forward, or no, he's not going to at all. Never mind.
We got Ryan Dyson already looking to the outside here, trying to get a push from Eric Nicky. Nicky's gonna go to the outside of him, maybe. Thinking better of it, though. Name we haven't said him a lot tonight, boys. Tanner Sharp. Gonna move up P3. No, I'm sorry, P4 with that move. So look for him to try and maybe get up here and shake some things around.
He did do a nice drive there to get through that wreck, as you see Corey bunch of darts to the outside. Might
Know
be trying to
why.
go to the back there. Dyson's gonna go up there with Sharp. We'll see if that starts to mount into something. Luis Almaso, though, he started on your pole. He's still running up there in the top 5. I don't think he's fallen out of there for very long, except that time he got stuck in the proverbial sucker
Stuck in
hole.
the middle.
Looking here, Abbas Laddick in chat. Hi all, welcome back. Haven't seen you in a couple races. Hope you're enjoying this Talladega 3-wide adventure, I'll call it.
It's been an adventure so far. Actually, been pretty calm. Other than the one, I won't call it the big one yet, because you can't call it a big one until it's a big one. You have to wait and assess that at the end of it, man. I guess.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just looking through here now. We got Levi Zielinski, actually. I haven't seen much of him up front. He's running right now in the 6th position. He's trying to form that upper line there with Ryan Dyson and Tanner Sharp. As David Wilson is making his way back on the track, which I'm surprised about. I thought he was done for the night there. But you got to remember here, guys, too, the 6-lap rule, which I don't know if anybody's just joining. A 6-lap rule means if you are 6 laps down, you are considered a DNF for the race. That's just a way to keep the minimal lap traffic on these tracks, and it's 6 for tracks that are bigger than 1 mile, and anything smaller than a mile, it's 11. So this one falls into the 6 rule, which should.
David's got a few. I don't have a feeling I'm gonna have a hard time keeping up with that pack.
Yeah.
And Mike Stevens already 5 down, so he's probably gonna just matter of probably 5-10 laps from going ahead and getting that 6 lap down.
Yeah, and Todd Smith, Jeff Story both done. Unfortunate for them because they had some nice cars there, and unfortunately Jeff got caught up with some technical issues again, and Todd he got destroyed in that first accident.
Meanwhile, we've got Tanner Sharp looking to try and take the lead here.
Let's see, Tanner got a nice run there. Dyson bumping him. Corey Lindsay, another one. He's on the outside looking in for this B-Series. Ooh. I thought they were going to go for a ride there with that move, but he's also on the outside looking in, trying to maybe get a win, but he's not in the need-to-win category yet. He's still, I believe, 17 points out or something of that nature, so just a good run, or 21 points, sorry. Just a good run here will be beneficial for him.
Yeah, the points are definitely going to help, but I mean, the win, it just gets you in, so.
Yeah, and then you don't have to worry about it for the rest of the year until the playoffs, so.
Yeah, all 4 races till you start the playoffs.
And you're back into the thick of things, I guess. And like
the worries
Stevens,
off,
the 63
and then you're back on it again.
Yeah, Story Thomas, the 63 is retired for the evening.
Yeah, that car took a digger, so I don't think he was running too well.
I think there might have been some overheating issues there, because I believe his nose was punched in pretty bad.
I gotta say, this front pack's running orderly, but not really tight. They're kind of all just hovering around each other.
Ooh, Dyson. Dyson's looking to make moves here tonight, guys. He just dropped to the bottom, hung out that 3 of Tanner Sharp, and Levi Zielinski's going to come up and give Tanner a little help here, I believe.
It would appear. Looks like I had Johnny Thomas asking, what was the plan here for the Eisentank guys, and no response. So they said, get your own plan, bud. Thanks.
That's what I was just thinking.
I'm pretty sure you can tell what their plan is there, Johnny. They're going to ride around the back and wait for another wreck. So.
Oh, Travis Bennett also retired for the evening.
Yeah, I guess that damage was a little too much there, Matt. You said he got clipped in that last wreck, so.
Yeah, probably knocked the rear end out a little bit because he slapped the wall side first. So. Rusty Webb broke into the top 10 right now. He's running 9th, I believe 8th now as he passes the 32 of Jeffrey Acree. And he's joining that top line, which seems to be the prevalent one right now.
Yeah, got a lot of speed in that top line from Tanner and Paul. Paul looking to get around his teammate there, Corey Lindsay.
We get a little bit tight there off of turn 4. Two teammates racing really hard with each other. They both want to ensure themselves into the playoffs, but a little early yet, boys. Lap 30. Sorry, 29.
Oh, remember those two at Talladega, Matt? I don't know if you remember that far back or not. They had a little contact with each other in their version of the Daytona Clash, or the Clash, I should call it, because it's the Daytona Clash that time. Had a little contact with each other and took each other out while battling for the lead. So I'm sure that's maybe an afterthought for them to kind of make sure they don't do that again.
Yeah, it might make the race a little bit easier as we see Paul Ross jumps to the bottom with Tanner Sharp giving him a hand up there to the lead. And now Tanner has to fight to get another run going.
It's like I did all the work getting you up here, man, and you just leave me hanging. But
oh, Corey.
Really leaving him hanging, though.
Corey got a bad bump there, I think, from the 28, and he shot a little bit down the track onto the apron. 28 backed off, and that destroyed that whole bottom line's momentum. This should clear.
Killed it. Yeah, the top line was rolled.
51 and the 3 were clear there going into turn 2 for the bottom, so you can really tell how the momentum helps here. Sam Close also.
Already back into the top 5 if they get fun, so no damage on that car. That's really hindering his progress. This Rusty Webb's going to try and maybe give him a little bump here.
Corey was real close to that left rear bumper of that 18 as Tanner Sharp takes the lead down on the bottom. He's going to have a big shove here from the 18.
I believe there's a big prize of that 3 car tonight, Matt. Going to donate some money if he can win here tonight. So I'm sure it's going to, everyone wants to win anyway, but it's really going to try and spirit him on there to try and get this win.
I'll send him my PayPal information if he wants. Looking in the chat here, guys. John Brummett comes in. Trading paint on the short track is fun. Trading paint here could end your race. You are dead on with that one. Trading paint is not something you want done here on Talladega. Then he asks also, what exactly is B-Car Xfinity equivalent? And it is the Xfinity cars from NASCAR. Same power, same everything. So.
Yes, that's the layout for iRacing as they're fixing to catch the lap car of Kyle Hanshaw. Well, he's fixing to be a lap car.
That's his first lap he goes down. I don't know if his strategy panned out the way he wanted to as he gets lapped here by Paul Ross.
Holding a good steady line on the bottom there, letting these guys get through as they kind of a little close sometimes. Just to finish that, yeah, the A car is considered the Cup car, the B is the B car, Matt, and the C is the truck, or the B is the Xfinity, and the C is the Camping World Truck Series. So this is kind of the layout structure for iRacing. Thread the needle down the backstretch with David Wilson there.
He is right now being scored 4 laps down, I believe. So 2 more, and he's going to be parked, which I don't think he can get much more fixed on that thing.
With a blistering 56.39 last lap.
As we see the front back getting all kinds of hairy, starting to wiggle around like a bunch of worms, and see if they can hang on to it. But as Paul Ross drops low, Levi Zielinski is going to take the point from him with a big push from Ryan Dyson in that 28.
Wiggling like a bunch of worms. There goes Jeffrey Acree around off the front bumper of the 4. He saves it, though. Wow.
Oh, wow. Made a little bit of contact there with the 4, but...
He, maybe thought he was clear?
He probably didn't know Luis came down there. That might do more damage to the 4 than it does to the 32, guys, because he took a pretty good hit at the front. Hopefully he can get it pulled out there on this caution. That was a good save by Jeffrey Acree there.
It kind of like saved itself with him hitting him again. It looks like it just shot the car back straight again. Yeah, I get a feeling he definitely didn't know he was down there. Or that he was going to be down there.
Yeah. John Brummett comes in. He likes the 2 wide. He loves the 2 wide. Now, just in regular tradition here with 3 wide, we like 3 wide all the way around the track.
Oh, yeah, it's 3 wide or nothing.
So far, we only had two cautions. One was a little bit larger scale, and the other one was just a minor little bump and
Scared.
run. But they're cycling out the laps pretty quick, though. Right now, we're working lap 34, almost 35 of 80.
It's throwing the pit strategy into a tailspin there because you can't really plan anything around these cautions.
No, Thomas, that's right. It's very hard, and especially here, like you said, this race could turn into fuel mileage, no trouble at all. So have to watch that and make sure you have that number in mind, like you easily recall for the Cup car.
Oh, look, Chuck's in chat also explaining what I explained a minute ago about the license system. Good old Chuck. So we've got the field headed down pit lane again here, man.
See if anything's gonna get shaked up here, and I also want to watch that 4, see how much knocking they have to do in the front end with Ron Malik down there with the sledgehammer.
Send him over the car with his helmet on. Ooh, little sliding into the pit stalls there.
Yeah, and I believe Kyle Hanshaw will receive one lap back for the lucky dog position, so it's good for him
So
getting back in the lead.
it worked
Hope
just
he doesn't
right.
lose. Yeah, Paul Ross comes out of the pits first. Matt Hackathorn second. He's a little bit of damage in the back end, probably from aggressive bump
We hadn't
drafting. Nice
seen him
story.
up front all
Hackathorn did
night
not
then.
pit. Hackathorn did not pit, so I believe, like the Isotech lads did last time, he might be coming down this time for service.
That's I'm thinking he was hoping he was going to get a lap led at least.
Yeah. Oh, there. And just as we're about to go to break here, there was a little bit of a thing. The 28 got an EOL for going through too many pit stalls, but we're going to step away, put you side by side again for just a little while, and get you to enjoy the scenery instead of listening us to Babylon. Alrighty, folks, we're back here at Talladega, looking for some more, maybe calm racing now. Maybe that's the last couple cautions scared some guys. What do you, what do you
Oh yeah,
think,
man.
Thomas?
As we wind down the laps, things get calmer. That's how it works. Did you see the real life Brickyard 400?
I'm thinking we're gonna have the calm before the storm here. I think things are gonna get real crazy in the last 10, 20 laps. This might
Yeah,
be that mid-race lull.
I mean that last one was just a little mistake, you know. I mean, the four obviously didn't think the 32 was going to come down, so
No, yeah.
no harm, no foul, and they both carry on. Maybe not too much damage to that four machine. So
No, I think he'll be all right because we've seen these cars can actually take a hit now and keep with the draft.
but looks like we're gonna have once again teammates on the front row for 3OG Racing as Rusty Webb and Paul Ross to take us back to green here.
Yeah, Rusty's holding a pretty nice car tonight. He's worked his way up to the field pretty well, and now he's in contention to take the lead. So pace car peels away. We're gonna take this nice long jaunt, not too long, because Paul Ross starts her up early.
He didn't wait on green.
Green flag.
He never caught Sam close, sleeping though. Sam just gonna pull right beside the 88 of Rusty Webb.
I don't think you're gonna catch all four of those top four there, Matt, because they're all teammates.
Oh, that's right. They all got the advantage of the count, so they can kind of try to do a breakaway as Rusty Webb gets hung out on the outside by his teammate Corey Lindsay.
With an abrupt move around Rusty Webb there. That was interesting. Gonna bring Levi with him there on the bottom. Pretty big gap as Tanner goes to shoot underneath the Rusty Webb as well.
And the 88's going to go and file in behind the 3 now. Corey Bunch looking back to get in the top 5 after he did that little fall back, climb back up the hill.
Yeah, I noticed he kind of fell back to pick up Eric Mickey.
Oh, boys, we're 3 wide with a 28, 32, and 4. And those two guys are just caught up in the last caution. Apri's not holding or not stopping that push either. They're still rolling along 3 wides to come off the corner. A little bit of crowding, but not too bad as Lewis is going to fall down and get back in line behind the 32 this time.
Well, you know, he tried.
Oh, Whitley got a little bit out of shape there, and as I look now, it looks like his nose got punched in, so I might have an issue with overheating a little bit more than the regular.
He's also got rear bumper damage, maybe a little right side damage as well.
Good lord, he must have
He's
went
been
off
used
road.
up.
Yeah. And as you see, they're starting to cycle around him. He must be down on speed as well, dropping him like a. Don't have a phrase.
It is a burnout racing team machine, so should probably take the most horsepower. So let's see. Looks like Johnny Thomas still back there with Peter Short and Jordan Till. I guess the guys have decided still not time to go yet.
Front pack is in kill mode, I think now. They're slicing and dicing.
I don't think that's a thing. A big push from the 3. They're going to push the 51 right to the front. See if he's going to leave him hanging or if he's going to stick up there with him. Looks like he's sticking up with him. Good man.
Well, you do got to make some friends here too, Thomas, and try to say, hey, bud, if I come down to the end, you should give me a shove, but that'll never work.
Friends, okay. You just don't want to make that guy mad until the very end.
Yeah, exactly.
So kind of top 6 here, all kind of, I won't say stepping away from the pack, but they're breaking a little bit from Corey Bunch there. He's running P7. Got another little gaggle of cars behind him with Eric and Zach Trevino and Chad Brown, Richard Lafferty getting his name in the mix. So they saw him pull off the track earlier there, Matt.
Yeah, he might just be trying to save up his stuff for the end of this, but I do believe Lafferty is in the playoffs, right? He won that Martinsville, I believe.
Yes, he did. He won the 24 Hours of Martinsville.
That was a fun race. So see, Paul Ross going to pull ahead here and take the lead back from the 51 Levi Zielinski. He's got the teammate help, I believe, on the bottom compared to Tanner Sharp and Levi just kind of trying to get up there.
Now,
And
something I didn't think about here when we went through, I believe Levi got the halfway point as well, took it away from Paul Ross.
and those points could be big for these guys around the outside looking in. And as we look here, the 94 Michael Whitley is retired for the evening.
Yeah, too much damage, I'm guessing, on that car there, Matt.
Right now we have 23 cars, that are taking times as the 39 just pulls off. So we're down to 22 cars left racing.
39 was, God, he was still only 5 laps down. That's amazing. He still kind of kept it within that threshold. So
First move tonight, guys. 33. Decided it's time to go because we are over halfway.
yeah, he thought, maybe it's calmed down a little bit. Then he's going to get up here and go, well, maybe not.
Well, the pack, he's in there. They're just trying to join the main pack, but they all have a lot of space in between themselves. And somebody we have not talked about at all this in the race, Chad Brown. He's moved his way up into the top 10 with some drafting help from his buddy Richard Lafferty.
We didn't talk. Well, we talked about his teammates. Unfortunately, I believe he's the only Pilot Performance Group machine left in the field tonight.
No, that's a bummer for those guys because they probably had a nice little strategy lined up with 3 cars in the field tonight.
Yeah, he brought biggest car lineup we've seen all season, but unfortunately, the Talladega took out the numbers there. But Chad's still motoring along, like you said, currently P9. It's kind of right outside that front pack.
Johnny Thomas going to take over the top 10 position from him with help from Richard Hines and Ryan Dyson, who's trying to battle his way back from a pit road penalty that he occurred this last series of pit stops.
One Carlos Acosta along with him as well. Another RK Motorsports driver looking to get up in the mix there. Maybe get up there with his teammate Tanner and see if they can lead a 1-2 here.
That'd be definitely the hope. Zach Trevino, also haven't talked about him too much tonight. He's moved his way up into the top 5 now as he gets by Corey Lindsay on the high side. And Tanner Sharp's doing a traffic break, I think, in the backstretch.
He's trying to. Still relatively calm. I mean, 3's pushing pretty good there, but nothing too out of line for Talladega. As long as you push them square, you're looking pretty good. So.
Without a doubt. And Luis Salmaso, Carlos Acosta, and Ryan Dyson all joining the main pack now, and they got a head of steam built up. Going to be going into turn 1 at almost 200 miles an hour.
I believe we're just forming into one big pack again here, Matt. That's Eric Mickey, Peter Short getting into the mix now. Jordan Till, kind of tail end of this, but they're all pushing into the main pack.
Matt Hackathorn just got lapped there too, guys. I caught that out of the corner of my eye.
I believe he mentioned something on the radio about having to serve a penalty. Not sure what happened there. I thought he got it cleared. But he did stay out that extra lap last time to try and, I was assuming to lead a lap, Matt, but he didn't get it because Paul Ross came out before he could get around.
No, yeah, that's just a bummer for him. Nice line for him on the high side, and that was the Convoys. Now it's the Storm.
Yeah, you've worked. We talked about Peter and Jordan worked all race to kind of ride around and not get in this, and then you're kind of in it now. You just, no matter how hard you try, at some point you're going to get in this pack. So you're just slowly creeping their way in.
Oh, speaking of creeping their way in, Ryan Dyson tried to push her 3 wide there between Tanner Sharp and Sam Close, but he got shut down pretty quickly. He finally was back in the line.
Well, I tell you what, that 28 has made some moves because he was just back there in the tail end of this draft pack. Now he's up trying to challenge for the lead.
Don't think Carlos Acosta is too happy with the moves he's making. He's quite aggressive and abrupt, which usually doesn't end too well. But we'll see how it does for him. Maybe if you can scare enough people away, you can steal a win with one of these.
I mean, if you're confident in your abilities, that's kind of what gets you ahead on a plate track, being able to know when you can make that dart or, dash move to get around a guy or maybe scare a guy behind you to check up a little bit and squeeze into a spot you normally couldn't fit in.
I don't know if that 88 Rusty Webb's going to be too impressed with the move he just got pulled on there, but we'll see. It should cycle out all right as we were working now, almost lap 49 of 80s. So clicking them off pretty quick and quite entertaining to watch, too.
Yeah, if we stay green, we won't be too far out of green flag pit stops here.
As you said, Peter Short, he now moved up to help the 6 Eric Mickey and see if Jordan Teal's teammate jumps in line behind them. Now you notice there is rookie stripes in the back of that 33. However, I don't know if you can call him a rookie. He's gotten 3 wins so far in the Nathan Young Designs B car, and he's already won the 3 Rock Championship. And I think he has the Dirt Championship almost in hand. So he's quite a talented driver on various levels of racing.
Yeah, he's a rookie by league standards, but not by. I guess not even by league standards, just a rookie by the technicalities of the league. But he's proven this season that he's far from a rookie, because he can win in pretty much anything he gets in. So.
And he, I believe, I heard this. I think he is the most consistent driver so far this season. Whereas you look at his stats, and he doesn't have just a top 10. He has all top 5s and top 10s are exact same numbers. And then whenever he's not in the top 5, he's usually on the hook, I think.
Well, you take out the plate tracks, and I think of maybe 1 or 2 races at the start of the season. I can't remember the last time he finished outside the top 5.
I can't either. Even we saw on the Drive for SP Dirt Series last time we broadcasted that, Thomas, he flipped on the front stretch and still came back to a second place finish.
Well, you know those things happen. Definitely the top side getting a little out of shape there. Looks like 3's going to come back down and get the teammates finally together, though, with Carlos Acosta and Tanner Sharp looking to push Levi there on the high side. Not making a whole lot of headway, trying to, but just can't quite get the power-alls.
You have that 3OG train down on the bottom. It's going to be pretty hard to overcome that, I think. And Ryan Dyson, I believe, has just joined into that three-way. Yeah. Anyway, Dyson just joined in there.
I mean, we've got a gaggle of 10, make it 11 if Zach can get in there.
Eric Mickey trying to join in too, along with Peter Short. We mentioned there earlier, him and his teammate Jordan T were keeping her cool.
Yeah,
not time to be cool anymore.
Corey Bunch, Chad Brown. Like I said, I mean, everyone's kind of creeping their way into this pack because they know you're gonna have to start getting up front to make your name known here and see if you can battle for that win.
Yeah, and this is about on the number for where I would start pushing up too, because you don't want to have to wait until the last 10 laps. It does not work unless there's a massive wreck and you somehow miss it.
Yeah, that would just be a miracle.
That's when you go buy yourself a lottery ticket, Thomas.
Maybe 2. Oh, and as I brought it up just a couple laps ago, we've got pit stops happening here. As with all the 3 OG cars are going to pit together here.
A few guys taking heed to that.
It's like, let's see, who else was that? Zach Trevino in the 97. So yeah, all the 5, the 18, the 90, all coming in.
Oh, the 5 and 90 look like they're going to leapfrog the 18. Just make sure they get slowed down. It's high speeds to 60. They all seem to be fine.
28 made up a lot of time there coming in. 88 a Rusty Webb. Now you got to make sure you don't slide through your pit stall.
Yeah, Matt Hackathorn also in that 12 came in. Now they must be close to their number where they can make it on just this stop, guys, if they decide to pull off now.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be less than 30 laps, so if our math was correct,
Yeah. Well, Kyle Hanshaw, right back in the mix here. He's making a move here in the 14, trying to get in the high side. The 4 says he's coming down pit road. There's a whole host of them coming this time, too. The 3, the 51, the 2.
So both the RK Motorsports machines pitting together here, trying to work together.
Luis Salmaso and Jeffrey Acree both jumped into that party. Sam Close just comes out of the pits, and I believe Ryan Dyson was a big loser there in that pit stop. I'm not too sure.
Not as big as Paul Ross.
No, yeah, Paul Ross too. They must have gotten held for speeding, maybe?
No, Dyson actually came out pretty good.
So
He's going to actually jump to the outside of Sam Close here as they get up to speed. Yeah, the big loser there would be Paul Ross. They lost a lot of time. He's half a straightaway, short shoot straightaway behind his teammates, and he was the leader of these guys coming into pit lane.
That's wild to think that you could lose that much just through that cycle of pit stops where you should be all about the same time coming out.
Yeah, we know how tricky it is, though, getting out of these pit stalls. So we've got, I believe, Eric Mickey, Peter Short, Corey Bunch, Richard Lafferty, Johnny Thomas all staying out here. It's like they all rode around the back for a little bit or something.
I think they're just trying to get calibrated now with how the front pack's going to work. So they're managing a little bit of lap traffic that'll be unlapped here as soon as the 633 and 06 decide to make the sharp-haired left turn to pit road. I believe the 32 is going to be coming this time. Looks like he's slowing. Nope.
Nope, not yet.
Mind?
One thing you can do too, a lot of people don't realize that if you can get in a line together and run quicker than what the front pack was running, you can gain time on those guys. And assuming your pit stops work out normal, you can actually come back out and leapfrog those guys that were ahead of you before, just because they maybe didn't do a tight draft pack as what you had.
Yeah, it's very true, Thomas. And that might actually play out because these guys up here single filing it and just working with each other, trying to open that gap, as you said.
Yeah, Eric Mickey ran a 49 flat last lap. Paul Ross, 50.3, so he's in trouble.
He's going to need a caution, I would say.
And these guys up here battling, like you said, Carlos Acosta, Tanner Sharp, they're in the 49.7s that lap. They were in the 50s trying to get single file here. Just a gaggle racing each other. That's not how you're going to make time up. .48.9 that lap from Eric, Peter, Richard, all those guys. Yeah, just...
Oh my God, we have a gag on the backstretch. The 2, the 28, 51, 5, 4. Oh my God.
Man, that was close.
That's just...
This is playing into their strategy, though, Eric Mickey and Peter Short, because they're single file, knocking off a couple tenths every lap.
And this is just a mess, and you cannot make time up while you're racing side by side.
More than that last lap. Yeah, they ran, 49.3 to Eric's, what was that last lap? 48 still again? 49.2, so they lost a tenth that lap, but still. You could come in for gas only too. I didn't pay attention to all those pit stops there, Matt and Trey. I'm not sure if some guys took 2 or not. I'm pretty sure with the amount of time they had to fill up, they probably took 4.
Yeah. I thought, if I can remember right here, it's been a while since I did a gas only shot, but I think it's only 8 seconds or so for a full tank of fuel, and you don't take tires, so you'd be saving what, 4 or 5 seconds?
Should be, as long as you don't lock them up, you should be all right. Even then, that'd
Yeah.
be a pretty severe lockup to have a hindrance.
Yeah, that's the worst thing. There is no flat spotting yet, but when you heat those tires up, they treat you pretty poor afterwards.
The worst part about it is getting out of the pit stall after taking no tires. It just seems like the thing will spin up the rear tires, and you just cannot get any grip. Guess these guys are still going to play the long game here, and the more they run, the less fuel they're going to have to take too. So.
That's true too, yeah. And,
to a point, Eric Mickey's actually going to burn more fuel being out front, but
they're fixing to put the 12 and the 18 down the lap. I believe the 12 is already down the lap, but 18's going to lose his lead lap position. That might actually help the 18 though, if he can just jump on the back of this train here and hope they stay out for a little bit longer. He could gain his lap times a little bit because right now he's a hurting pup.
Yeah, the 18 to 12 have not been able to match the pace of these other guys.
You see a little break here. Maybe Richard Lafferty going to try to use these guys as kind of a pick because he's going to jump in line with them along with Johnny Thomas. See how that works out.
Not too well.
Don't think so. The 12, I think, seen better days. I believe he, maybe that's just lag damage or something I'm seeing on him.
he can help push these guys, but then they're doing pretty much the same thing we just yelled at the other guys for doing, racing instead of just trying to ride in line. As they're still side by side for with Tanner Sharp, Ryan Dyson, Carlos Acosta. The guys are still battling what could
Hackathon.
be the leaders.
Hackathon just took them 3 wide there with the 18 and the 6. That was an interesting move. He's pinching that low lane right down. He's trying to get his laps back, I believe. So only 1 lap down. He's not 2. I got that wrong.
But he is the 3rd car a lap down at the moment. Got Jeffrey Acree and Zach Trevino also a lap down.
Johnny Thomas might be looking to take the lead here. He's got a good run. Or sorry, Richard Lafferty in front of him. But they both got a good run down there in the bottom with Paul Ross, the head of the ship.
Yeah, he's kind of the pick here you get to use. He's not a hurt pick. He's a good pick you could use then. I gotta think these guys are gonna have to start planning when they're coming to pit lane here. Don't want to have any last ditch efforts here to get in. It's like Peter Short and Eric were able to push back by Paul Ross.
Well, there's a whole pile of people going to be coming in this time. As Richard Lafferty the first to make the hook down pit lane. I believe Johnny Thomas as well.
Johnny Thomas Racing coming together there with Richard Hines coming in. Kyle Hanshaw, like I said, Matt got that wave round. He's back in the mix.
Oh, contact on pit road. The 87 and the 46. That's going to destroy their pit stop and probably their race.
Yeah, that's game over for them.
Man.
You got to be so aware of where you're pitting here.
I'm seeing now. I believe the 06, the 6, and the 33 right now are confirmed to be coming down to pit lane this time. Hopefully they don't have a mess like what happened down there just now. So that's going to give Paul Ross his lap back, and the 64 also coming.
Yeah, this will be interesting to see. Make sure no one speeds here.
Corey Bunch was right on the docket there. I thought he was going to go over, but he thought he slowed down enough.
Interesting. I don't believe I've seen any pit lane speeding penalties.
No, not yet, which is crazy to think, because
Boy, that is a gaggle coming out of turn 4 right now.
Yeah, it is.
It's going to be Carlos Acosta and the 2 there trying to keep Ryan Dyson from possibly leading this lap if they can cycle through.
Yeah, Carlos going to need some help there, which he gets. It's going to be a little too late. Ryan Dyson's going to take that one for the lap lead. Or, sorry, no, he won't, because we still have the other dudes up here.
2 cars in the apron. He's going to save it, though.
Wow.
Good save there, Carlos. That's going to end his race unless we get a caution, because he's going to lose the draft with that. But...
Oh, my, we were 4 wide for just a split second there as the 64 emerges back onto the raceway.
Well, we talked about this gap, which is not working right now because Eric Mickey's way too far in front of Peter Short and Corey Bunch. But they got out in front of these guys through the exchange, but they're going to get eaten alive.
That was the thing. I believe Mickey took fuel only and Peter took right side tires. So
that doesn't work when no one else takes fuel only.
You need all your drafting buddies to do the same. Right now, guys, we're 16 laps to go. 20. Never mind. I'm just going to go sit down in the corner. I was right.
Numbers are hard. So Corey's caught up to Peter, but unfortunately, here comes the pack.
Dyson should make quick work of those guys with help from the 5 and the 4, and they're all at speed.
Pulling the 4, and Tanner Sharp's on the outside with the 90. We're going to be 3 wide into turn 3.
Oh, and to hit the brakes there from Mickey. Wow. That was almost bad because I saw a twitch there, I think, from the 90. I don't think he knew that the 6 was down there so slow.
Oh, guys, we're back to a pack again.
Pack is back.
See if we can keep ourselves clean and green here as we're winding down on the laps.
Right now, the 14 and the 2 are both DOA, I believe, because the 14 can just see the pack, but he can't quite touch it.
Yeah, also the 46, we mentioned, you get that contact with Richard Hines. They are showing the 46 22 seconds off the lead. Probably more than that once it cycles through here. Oh, 23 seconds. So, yeah, Richard Hines also already a lap down after that contact. So, Cal Henshaw got the lucky break and then got dealt a big blow there.
Who's up here, boys? Leading your race right now at 4, Luis Salmaso, as Dyson's going to take this lead away from him before he crosses the stripe.
Not so fast.
He's got a nice push there. He saw him having a little bit of issues, I believe. He got, ooh! He started dancing going into turn 1 there. I thought that was going to be the end of her. But no, he had contact, I believe, with the 32, with Jeffrey Acree. He's rebounded nicely, and unfortunately for Jeffrey, he's a little bit more wounded than what we would think.
I didn't think he was that damaged, though. Must have just been out of the draft.
We see the 3 forwards working together here. Corey Bunch, Peter Short, and Eric Mickey.
Yeah, well, they've got a lot of Chevys and Camrys up there to deal with.
Hashtag Ford Power.
Speaking of Chevys, here comes Tanner Sharp back to the lead. Gonna get that lap.
Yeah, the bottom line. The bottom line's coming unhinged quite frequently now, and it looks like she's gonna spring wide open here. There they go. The 51's around. Big wreck.
Caution is out.
Wow.
Damn close. Gonna keep it off the inside wall. Yes, he will.
And it looked like that was just a little bit of what in the name of God was that? The 51. When you take a look at that, the 3 just got completely mauled into that outside wall. That was the hardest hit I think I've ever seen. That's net code to the extreme. Wow.
Yeah, little push, and then he had nowhere to go because the 8 was also on the 51's bumper.
Wow.
Collects the 28 and the 83, and the 5 kind of went inside the 28.
The 88 got through it, spun out, and hooked the 90 after. And Peter Short involved too. We missed that. Got in the contact there.
Yeah, a little piece of Corey Lindsey blew the motor, looks like, on that 33. So,
man, Rusty Webb was all but through that until I think he locked up the brakes a little bit. And we know it's hard to stop these machines, so probably gonna end his race as well. That's gonna open her up though, guys. Kyle Hanshaw's back in this race.
it's going to change
a lot of guys that
everything with 10 to go.
28 is done. 06 and 6 got through it pretty well, I believe. They don't have any damage, so good on them. But that was a gnarly hit there.
Yeah, that was unexpected, I believe, when that kind of didn't see that coming there with that drafting. They weren't really pushing that hard until the end.
No, and I just finished saying that the bottom line was becoming unhinged.
Well, it was, but
man, I'm still just put aback by how viciously that 3 hit the outside wall.
we've I can't even say that.
I know what you're gonna go for there, so.
Looks like we had some come in for pit stops there. And Eric Mickey, Corey Bunch decided they'd stay out. Remember, they were some of the latest to stay out the last round. So.
I don't think I would have pitted there, guys, to be honest. But that's why I'm up here, I guess.
Well, no, there's no sense in it. They came in the last of all this group. They've got plenty of fuel. Tires don't mean anything. Looks like Matt Hackathorn going to get the wave around.
He's hoping that nobody does anything stupid, I believe.
Well, I mean, it's good to announce you're coming around sometimes, because otherwise you'll have James Duke pull up in front of you at Charlotte.
Then you yell at him over the mic and spin out immediately on the backstretch. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you have to go watch Got That Stat on YouTube. It's
hopefully
quite a good inside the headset with my true colors shining.
Hopefully James is still around in chat. Probably not. Probably went to bed by now. But if you are, you know James. You laughed about it too.
Good times. And that's why I'm up here. one of many reasons, I think.
Yeah, Chuck says the 3 was it the 51 turned to 3. Yeah, that wasn't. Yeah, Chuck, that was just one of those racing deals. Nothing he could really do. I mean, I'm sure he didn't mean to push him that hard or at all because it was kind of getting a bump from the 8 as well. So it kind of it's one of those Talladega iRacing netcode hooks.
And Levi Zielinski looking real good there. Good chance at a win. But best part about that, guys, is he can come back tomorrow night with a little bit more power in those A cars and battle the. I think it's gonna be like more like a Rocky Mountain
I was
kind of
gonna say
track.
it's a whole different atmosphere tomorrow night when we're gonna be on the old pavement of Daytona from I believe what previous 2011 pavement. So it's the grand hills and valleys through the corners.
I'm gonna tell you, is when I first joined the service, that was the funnest track to race at. Now we got the new Daytona, and it's just that's a walk in the park compared to having to battle the wheel and actually be wore out hanging on to your steer wheel coming through the valleys of
Well,
Daytona Beach.
makes you wonder how you ever did it after you run the new one.
Man, like it's day and night now because you're sitting there. It's like I used to be able to go 3 wide here, and now I can't even go go single file line and keep my line. Anyway, with that round of pit stops, I guess we can go back to a little bit of side by side action for you guys. So I can go get myself a nice little drink of water and get ready for the last 10 laps of the race that will surely be clammy. So stay tuned for that, and we'll be right back. We're back here, Talladega Super Speedway, right in the heart of Alabama.
Earnhardt country.
Woo! Now, guys, since we're back for the final shot to the finish, who do we think is going to be able to take this checkered flag home tonight?
Before we do that, Matt, I have to touch on this in chat. Chuck Sweeting says he has never ran the old Daytona.
You got to come tomorrow night, Chuck. It's going to be an adventure.
I'm going to tell you to go ahead and bolt your monitors down. I know you just moved, but make sure you got those bolted in. And put in your mouth guard because you're going to need that. And then probably take some motion sickness pills because you're going to be all over the track.
Oh, could you imagine VR on the old Daytona? Oh.
But to get to your other point, who's going to win tonight? I mean, just pick a name. Let's go. Paul Ross might still win here. It doesn't, it's just going to depend on who's where at the time of either the caution or the last push.
I'm looking here, that's 64, Chad Brown. He's going to take home the victory tonight for Pilot Performance Group and get himself in the chase as the pace car cuts to the infield.
Looks
a little log jam.
Bring them down here nice and easy as we're back to green.
We had a bit of a log jam there in the back. They seem to got it shortened. Wow, straightened
Shortened out.
And Paul Ross got a nice run on the outside. No help right now. 21, Nathan Young. Haven't seen him up front all race long. Sitting right now P4.
Unfortunately, that 18 is going to run out of steam here coming off of turn 2.
Yeah, and these guys started getting there. Oh, 64 jumps out. Going to give Paul a little hand, I think.
Speaking of hand, is that Kyle Hanshaw I see back there behind Nathan Young?
It is. He's back in it, boys.
He's been the yo-yo all night.
Jeffrey Acree back in it. Richard Lafferty, he had sustained some crash damage. He's right back in it, too. Laps are winding down. It's time to go. We're coming up on 6 laps to go this time. 7, sorry.
Yeah, there's no riding around now. You've got to get up front because you don't know when the next caution's going to be.
Yeah, and there's no... Ooh, as Kyle Hanshaw almost took a little trip to the outside wall there.
That's fine.
Chad Brown and Paul Ross seem to have died off there on the high side. Paul's going to sneak his way back in.
It's like, sorry, Chad, you were kind of a help, but thanks.
The bottom line right now is the only one rolling. Top line's completely gone. You're going to see that form back up here. Paul Ross can go back to the outside after he gets the run from the 46. Nathan Young going to follow him out there. Maybe he can get pushed by the Corey Bunch, Eric Mickey duo up here.
He said, hey, this is my series. How about I get a win in it?
Yeah.
Oh, Paul Ross said, no, I'm going to go to the bottom. Thanks for trying, though, bud.
Whew.
Cutthroat.
Still lots of time left, coming up on 6 to go this
Kyle
time.
Hanshaw there, though.
Yeah. Oh, 3 wide back there. Close. Still 3 wide contact. They save it.
They're
nice
going to
work.
save it.
More contact.
Young's going to have to get out of the throttle there. They're going to have Richard Hines going to be the nice guy there and check up, let Nathan get back in line.
Nathan Young got used up all the way around that time. Paul Ross again looking on the outside. He's just waiting. He's doing the...
He's trying to tell Hanshaw, like, hey, you go, I'll go with you. Come on.
Yeah. And you can't announce that over the radio, Thomas, because we know these other guys will hear that and say, I don't think so. Got 5 laps to go here. You're staying behind me.
Oh, we got Andrew Mickey in chat saying Corey Bunch takes the win. I don't know. He's not much of a plate finisher based off stats.
Yeah, he is looking good up here right now, though. Zach Trevino and Paul Ross both break to the outside. Chad Brown,
Lafferty with a
big checkup. Run. Wow. Lafferty, if he could have got outside, he would have been gone.
Yeah, he kind of shot it into Hanshaw, then had to slam on the brakes there.
Luis Almaso, Jeffrey Cree, and Nathan Young all trying to figure out how they're going to get back up to the front, but I don't believe they're going to do it that way.
Paul Ross trying to pull the 97 along with him here.
He's got a little bit of help. Carlos Acosta there.
Chad Brown stuck it on the 8. All right, man. Round he goes. Hard hit for Lafferty as he gets hit again.
Contact. Lafferty's going to be done on... Yeah, his engine expired on that one. It was a hard hit.
Net code, I believe, hit him the second time, but yeah.
And for Luis Almaso also involved, but he might have got lucky going through that one. I don't believe he sustained any damage, but he kind of bulldozed him over. That's going to bring Nate... Oh, that might end the race.
Yeah, that's not looking pretty. It's going to be taking 77. We do not do one-lap shootouts here in 3-wide racing league, so I believe that's probably going to give the win to Eric Mickey.
There's something going on here with Eric Mickey in plate races, I think, Thomas. He's with both the Mickeys, Andrew as well. Andrew's turned into a good little plate racer as of this season. So
yeah, Eric Mickey, Corey Bunch survives for a P2. Kyle Hanshaw. I mean, how many times is he a lap down? And all just thought it was over, getting wrecked on pit lane and comes back to finish P3. Zach Trevino, he was a lap down at one point. It's a top 5. Carlos Acosta with some good points there. P6.
Yes. Incredible for these guys who we kind of counted them out until that wreck happened. And it kind of brought this whole field back together. But tonight was a very, very good Talladega race in my mind for just the amount of give and take that was going on. These guys were racing really respectful and not pushing the issue until they had to.
It's going to be some mega points for Kyle Hanshaw. Richard Lafferty finished 18th with Hanshaw finishing 3rd. And Hanshaw was 47 points off Richard Hines. So that's going to make a big inroads into that.
Yeah, it will for sure. Carlos Acosta.
Wade Lear also was not in the field tonight, so it's going to be a lot of points taken off.
But Carlos Acosta did do a really good drive after he almost bought the farm there by getting onto the apron. about probably 10 laps ago or better, but it's a good comeback for him, like you mentioned, Thomas. And Zach Trevino, also, like you mentioned, it's amazing to see that he made her up to the top 5 after his up and down night.
Going to be a big hit for David Wilson, too. Had a 30-point cushion over Corey Lindsey, but he's going to walk away with 24th place tonight, so it's going to hurt a little bit there.
He got lucky that Corey got involved in that other incident. However, he is still only 15th, so it's going to gain some points for Mr. Lindsay.
Yeah, this is one of those true wild cards, so, this is where you probably, you never want to say, but this is probably where you're going to see the biggest swing in points, and so this is, I wouldn't say some of these guys walked away pretty safe compared to what it could have been, but a lot of guys were wishing for a lot more. So we now have the grueling task of pacing for the next 3 laps at Talladega.
And you got to know these guys that almost had a chance to the win there. They are just wishing that happened 1 lap earlier. Still have another shot here at the leader, Eric Mickey. Oh, Luis Helmaso, too. I just looked back there. 9th spot after his very eventful night. Not too bad, but he's going to be a little bit disappointed. He looked like he was going to be able to maintain the lead for quite a long time until he got pushed out as he's pitting.
Interesting. Well, he's not here for points, so...
That's true, yeah. Might just...
Although it's odd to pit, but okay.
Well, I'd give a top 10 finish to Jordan Teal at 14.
Yeah, we saw him kind of get caught up in the shuffle of pit lane there and still came back for a solid top 10 now.
Yeah, that's good for him. And he got...
Sam Close still finished 12th, and I swear I saw that car pretty much in a...
I think it was on fire.
Very, very bad position a couple times. Mainly towards the inside wall twice, so still, you'll take that. He kept the car rolling.
I say if you can get out of Talladega with a good top 15 finish, I'd be happy.
I know the heartbreak has to be Nathan Young there for him at the end, because he was in position and just got, like you said, Matt, used up and shot to the back there.
He was doing everything right in my mind. He was real close to, I think, being able to take that win, but unfortunately, I think it didn't pan out for him, and he's going to have to hope for next time. Maybe more.
John wants to no restart, not in 3 wide. There will be no 1 lap shootout here in 3 wide, which honestly I kind of like, because it just saves the calamity of a 1 lap debacle that normally happens here in real life, and just like here on iRacing, it just saves you the trouble of having to go through, work all day to get a good solid finish and then get it taken away with a 1 lap cluster.
Yeah, and especially on play tracks, Thomas, where everybody knows it's their last chance to go, and everybody's trying to get up through the gears clean, and whoever misses the start is going to get punted. You pretty well know that going into it.
Yeah, 1 lap on a play track, you're not even up to speed. It's all about a push and, just shoving guys out of the way, so it really makes for an ugly situation.
So that's another thing that 3 wide does very well, I believe, is avoiding all that disaster. Would 100% happen at Talladega.
Well, looks like we're taking the white flag, ladies and gentlemen. So slowly but surely, we're going to end this race.
Yeah, I apologize for the viewers that stuck around here hoping for an exciting finish, but yet an exciting race, so I guess it's not too... you can't say too much negative about it. Corey Bunch looking for some payment for pushing Eric Mickey there. I don't think that's going to work out too well.
No, I don't think Eric's going to share those winnings there.
Good try though, Corey. Good try.
Like I said though, Matt, typical. I wouldn't say anything outstanding tonight, but a typical Talladega race here. Play the strategy. Unfortunately, a few cautions kind of shook up how you were probably going to pit, so it kind of forced your hand a little bit. But we saw the Terry Labonte strategy in the back kind of worked for Eric a little bit, and kind of Corey, because they fell maybe mid-pack during the race. But Peter Short waited all night to get there, and when he finally went to get in the pack, he ended up with a DNF. So typical plate track antics.
Yeah, and I got to say I'm biased against Peter Short's strategy, because never worked for me. So whenever I said, "Oh, that can't be a good idea," that's because I always seem to get burned on it, and my luck seems to hold true with Peter when he got taken out there in that 51 wreck. And
Well,
also, you'd want to be closer to the front, I think, and closer to the end because it turns into a hornet's nest.
for the final time through the trial, which usually is a lot more exciting, but Eric Mickey's going to lead the field to the checkered flag for his, I believe, his what, second win of the season here.
Yeah, and I believe it's back to back.
No, Peter Short won last time at Thompson.
Right, Thompson.
That was a
Oh
month
well.
ago, so how do you not remember that? God.
Sorry, I have to dig back in the file there. It's a little bit dusty.
Yeah, Eric Mickey, Corey Bunch, Kyle Hanshaw, Paul Ross, Zach Turbino going to round out your top five.
Eric Mickey, can't believe, steals another victory on a plate track.
Yeah, he's known for stealing a few plate wins. Him and his brother Andrew Mickey.
Yeah, they crush your hopes and dreams when you see a Mickey jump in a plate race this year, anyway.
Got that golden horseshoe.
Well, guys, I think we should go try to run down pit road here and gapple some people with some interviews.
Yeah, I guess we'll make the switch over to TeamSpeak and fire up the interviews. And bam, just like that.
And we're here, yeah. Alakazam.
Alakazam, Eric Mickey still not great at burnouts.
For anybody that's wondering, we do not do what NBC does and cut away whenever somebody wins. We usually like to interview them.
Well, I would say we make you run on the track to interview him, but that's not quite possible yet. We're working on that technology though here at OCR TV. Looking on the old TeamSpeak here, waiting for. Don't believe Kyle Henshaw's on yet.
No, he's not, but I do see Corey Bunch, so I'm just going to go down there and pull
Shake him
him
up a
in.
little bit.
Boom, just like that. We have Corey Bunch here, second place finish. Hello, Corey. Anyway, still bad at the interview intros, as y'all can tell. But Corey, we saw you fall back to the back of the pack there and picked up Eric Mickey, which apparently worked out for you guys because you fought your way back up to the front. So were you a little bit nervous when you were coming back up through the field, coming about 30 laps to go, 20 laps to go? You knew that things were going to pick up in the craziness department. So what were you thinking when you were coming up through there and slicing your way to the front?
Well, I just think whatever happens, happens. I wasn't really too concerned about it. It's just the car was great. Really, had hell of a horsepower from Ford Performance. So I wasn't worried much about dropping to the back or falling out of draft or anything like that. I just had to find either good old Eric Mickey or Peter Shorten and just go from there.
Now, you said you weren't worried, but we saw it come down to some green flag pit stops, and you guys stretched it a little bit further than some other guys. Was that kind of the plan you noticed? That maybe you guys could work together, hopefully, in a straight line, like a strong draft pack, and maybe gap a little bit to that other pack that was racing pretty hard?
Yeah, that was the intention. I mean, I heard when on the chat when Peter said he was going to pit the first time and he didn't. I was like, well, I guess he's not going to pit. So he wanted to, I guess Peter wanted to make sure that he had someone else to pit with. And um, once Mickey called that he was pitting, Peter did too, and then I did as well. And it just kind of worked out. The only thing I was really concerned about was me overshooting my dang pit stall, which shouldn't have happened. But overall, it worked out great with that caution. Me and Mickey stayed out and just had to just hang out and just go from there.
Well, Mr. Bunch, this is your officially second start here in the Nathan Young Designs B Car Series. Are we going to see you stick around for a few more this season?
Oh yeah, this the Burnout Racing team with this oh 06 Pilot Flying J is going to be compete for the rest of the B car season, and I mean I'm really excited about it for sure. I really liked being part of this league from running at Thompson, and wanted to try to do bring my own operation over here and then finish out the season. But wouldn't be possible much with Pilot Flying J. We got Benjamin Moore on the car as well. Ford Performance. Ford Mustangs were fast, and we did have Whitley here. Unfortunately, he didn't make it. Through the end, but me and him will both we'll be here for a long while. At least to finish up the season, so we'll be good to go. So it's been a lot of fun. Thank you guys.
All right, folks, there is your P2 finisher, Mr. Corey Bunch, looking to be one position higher next week.
We almost had her, but now we have Mr. Kyle Hanshaw. Jack for the interview. Let's grab him and try to do a good intro for the interview this time. There he is, 46. Kyle Hanshaw, you had an up and down night, Kyle. I saw you got into a little bit of trouble there on pit lane. And also on the track, you were kind of struggling with track position, but come the end, you prevailed everything and came up to third place. Had that caution not have fallen when it did, and you guys were able to race it to the line, I'm going to go on a few ifs and buts here, but do you think you would have been able to make your way to the front maybe and defeat the duo of Eric Mickey and Corey Bunch?
Yeah, I believe so because I had my buddy Nathan and then Richard was coming up behind me, and we were all working together basically the whole night. And yeah, I think Richard got tagged in turns 3 and 4 by somebody, and that kind of just screwed everything up. But if we would have all like hooked up together, I think we would have, battled it out for the win there.
Now, Kyle, I have to bring up the craziness of your night here. Did you kind of write it off when you got in that incident on pit lane when Richard Hines tried to cut across, get his pit stall right in front of you, and just pretty much took you guys right out of the equation until you get that last caution?
Yeah, I felt so bad. I blamed it on myself because we were all working together with like JTR and then Richard and Nathan and all of us were working together, and we had a plan, and we all pitted there, and I came onto pit road a little hot, and Richard said he lost me in his rearview mirror, and I thought we had enough gap in between us, and I saw him coming down, and I tried to brake and get away from him, but we got tangled up there, and I blame myself on that one. That was my fault, and but if that caution wouldn't have come out, I wouldn't have finished in the top three tonight. But I was lucky that it happened.
Well, that is the other side of plate racing, as I was saying. The luck, you need to have a lot of it to be able to survive. But Kyle, are you going to compete further in the Nathan Young Designs B-Car Series, or are we just going to do a few one-off races, I guess?
No, I'm racing in it full time. I bought a charter in it, so we'll be racing part time in the A cars. I know tomorrow night I'll be racing for JTR in the number 8 Chevy, so that'll be pretty cool. But yeah, I'll be racing full time in B car and finishing out the sprint car series.
That was my next question. Are you going to tackle the craziness of Daytona tomorrow night? So that'll be fun to watch in the Johnny Thomas racing machine there.
I got mixed up there, Kyle. Sorry, I got the A car and the B car mixed up. So.
Oh yeah, no, it's okay. Yeah, Daytona should be fun tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. I know it's gonna be crazy, as usual.
Alrighty, well, Kyle, you know the deal. Give us those shout-outs.
Yeah, I just like to thank my buddies at JTR, Johnny, Richard, and then Nathan and Richard Hines. They were a big help tonight. Our strategy was working, but with cautions and late crashes, it never works out that way. But I'd like to thank them. I'd like to thank all the guys at 3 Wide, OCR TV, you guys for doing the broadcast. Shout out to my girlfriend Jess for watching me every week. Appreciate it. And we'll go to Daytona tomorrow and see what we can do.
Alrighty, folks, there's your P3 finisher, Mr. Kyle Henshaw, looking to move up, maybe shock the world with that Daytona win tomorrow night.
Thanks, guys.
Well, now, somebody who's shocked the world, I think. Not really, because he's probably one of the luckiest people that I know on the plate tracks recently. We have Eric Mickey. Eric, what what can these guys do to beat you at a plate track? We seem to be on a rail at Daytona and Talladega. So, what are they gonna have to look for to kind of take you out of contention to win?
I don't know. I think both of those ended with caution. So if that stopped happening, I'm not sure how these things would play out.
Well, it looked like you guys had a pretty decent plan with yourself, Peter Short, Corey Bunch, I believe Johnny Thomas and Richard Lafferty were back there for some of that as well. We talked to Corey about how you guys extended that last run for green flag pit stops to try and maybe gain an advantage on the pack behind you. It turns out it kind of didn't really play out the way you wanted with the whole pack catching back up to you. But was that the plan going in? You and Corey and maybe Peter were all going to try and maybe work together, or did it just kind of happen that you all ended up with less teammates? And we know one of your teammates didn't even get make the show tonight. It looks like, but you guys just kind of come together as a little group there and try and figure it out.
Yeah, once Brandon didn't make it, I went down into got in talks with Corey and Whitley, and we basically planned on working together the whole race. Then unfortunately, Whitley got caught up in a wreck, and so from there on, it was basically Corey and I. And we didn't have any plans of working with Peter until he called that he was pitting, and then didn't pit and said he didn't pit because he didn't have anybody that was going with him. So at that point, Corey and I said to each other, "All right, he's with us then," and we uh, we were able to work it out from then. And from the Ferrari thing we do from later on in the week, Peter and I have gotten to known each other, so we knew we could trust each other. Me and Corey knew we could trust each other. Um, and yeah, as soon as everybody started pulling off and we found ourselves leading the pack, I realized we were all single file and running way better lap times than that pack was as a group. So um, our hope was to try to take advantage of that and kind of come out ahead of the pack. And I mean, it was looking good until we caught those lapped cars that kind of made everything a mess. And then um, all of us had different little things happen on our pit stops where we couldn't come out together. But it was almost a good strategy.
It seemed as though you made the right call at the time because you guys were you as you said you were running away from the other pack. But Eric, what races are you looking forward to in the rest of the season as the playoffs come up here and you were safely in the playoffs with 2 wins this season? Is there anything that you have marked out on your calendar that says I can win that one when we make it to the playoff rounds?
When do we go to Kansas? He loves Kansas.
There's actually 3 of the next 4 races I actually feel pretty good about. I don't particularly like Kentucky, but for some reason I do run well there. And Auto Club, I'm really excited to get to. Richmond, I feel like we can be pretty good there. That kind of just depends on if we get one of those Caution Fest short track races. And then Lucas Oil, I don't even own it, so I don't really know how that's gonna go.
Probably haven't ran that since the old, I think it was NASCAR 09 days the last time we had ORP in a
So I stand
circulation.
corrected. We have one more wild card left then. And that
Yeah.
would be Lucas Oil Raceway, because
Yeah.
that could be another surprise winner.
Yeah,
All right,
I
Eric.
don't know what's happening there.
You you don't really have to worry about points, but you have extended your point lead to I believe a massive 52 points now over Peter Short.
Yeah, I mean that's all ego at this point.
Well, that's pretty much all I got for him, Matt. You got anything else?
Oh, other than anybody that you would like to thank tonight, Eric?
Corey and Peter for helping us get into position to be able to win that race. Corey and I decided not to pit on that last stop, and he last caution, and he was questioning it, and I told him, I was like, dude, all we got to do is make it 2 laps in the front, and if a caution comes out, the race is over. And we went a couple more than that, but it worked out. So I got to thank Corey for playing ball, helping me out, kind of not taking the chance to win it, to go for the win himself too early. Even though he had free reign to do that, I didn't expect any less from him. And yeah, then again, Peter, helping Corey and I and making our race strategy work out for the most part.
All right, folks, there you have it. Your winner tonight, Mr. Eric Mickey. Got the second win of the season here in the Nathan Young Designs B Car Series.
Well, guys, that was an exciting race, and I want you to notice here the top three are all technically rookies here in the 3-wide racing league.
Yeah, that's what they are. Mean, so I guess that's true.
Kind of crazy to think, but
With a cagey old veteran right there behind him in fourth.
yeah.
Been waiting to say that all night. Oh, the one thing, man, I had it on a sticky note and I didn't even say it all night, guys. I'm still gonna get in. I don't care. This was an opportunity race for somebody.
Oh boy.
Unfortunately, it didn't really help. So, we'll move on to tomorrow night. As we've mentioned, we're gonna be an old style Daytona. I believe it's called Daytona 2007 officially on iRacing. But
Pre-jet
it's
dryer
gonna
fire.
true. That's pre Trevor Bayne winning, all that fun stuff. Gonna be quite the show. I believe it's gonna be the donation race for the Mark. Is it Mark? Boy, I should double check my notes before I do this. I believe it's the Mark Zawinski 250 or 500, however we want to call the mileage for Daytona, in the Cold Hard Art Cup Series for Daytona. So that should be very interesting. If you've never seen an old style Daytona race with new Cup cars, you definitely want to tune in for that. But that's pretty much going to wrap it up here tonight for Matt Kingston, the crazy Canadian, still pushing some snow, I'm sure, tonight. Our lovely cameraman, Trey Landry, who filled in for Wendell James, who's apparently getting his legs waxed tonight. So we'll see if he can make it back tomorrow. And as you know, there's this guy, me, Thomas, always rambling on about things that don't make sense. But with that, we'll see you tomorrow night.
And see ya!